Hi everyone, I'm Coder Shah and welcome to Coder Shah's EV3 challenges. So for this week, we're going to look at steering. We're going to create a program for a truck made from the Lego Mindstorms 31313 set. We're going to make it steer and drive. Before we do that, let's talk about the challenge that was presented last week, the clock. So you'll see on the screen links to two videos. So those videos will show you the clock and how to program it. I'll put the links below this post in the description. The first thing that you need to do is to build a race truck. This is an extremely cool model that was designed by Lawrence Walt. He uses the parts from the 313 Mindstorm set. You can see the link on the screen. I'll also put a link on the description. Now, even though this already comes with a program, I want you to try and program this on your own because I think, quite honestly, that'll be more fun. So I want to think about the components that goes into a truck. For instance, there is the part that makes the truck steer left or right. There is a part that makes the truck There is a part that makes the truck drive forwards and backwards. And finally, you can use the remote control to control the truck's driving and steering. Okay, so first of all, let's think about the steering. I'm going to use my hands here to pretend that these are the wheels of the truck. And these are the wheels turning. It's to my left and to your right. And this way it is turning to my right and to your left. Okay, so let's say, for instance, when you first start up the EV3 program, the EV3 doesn't know where the wheels are supposed to be. So you need to find a way to make the wheels point straight forward. So one of the ways of doing this is turning as far as possible to one direction, and then turning back a certain number of degrees so that it points straight forward. Then, when you program the truck to turn left, you have also got to consider the truck when it's already turning left and you make it turn left again, it can't go anymore. So what should you do? Okay. Ideally, you want a kind of a switch so that you can check to see whether the truck's already turning left. And if it is turning left already, don't turn left anymore. And the same thing happens when you're turning right. Okay. This is my right, your left. So when you're turning right, once you're already turning right, you can't turn right anymore. So if you send further commands to your Mindstorm's robot to turn right, you should just ignore it. Okay? But if the commands are sent to either go straight or to turn to the left, then you should take some action. So how do you know when the robot's already turning left and turning right? Well, one of the things that you can do is look at the port view. Inside the port view, you'll see when it turns in one direction, especially if you look at the port view for degrees, then the motor would show a positive number when turning in one direction and negative number when turning in another direction. So that's the discussion on the steering systems. Let's look at the discussion on the driving system. This is actually quite straightforward. You just want the truck to go forward or backwards, okay? But let's say, for instance, if you're turning. Now look at my hands. If I am turning, you'll notice that one side moves a lot more than the other. Okay? So the wheel on the inside has to move at a slower speed than the wheel on the outside. So how do you do that? Well, one thing you can do is you can use a tank block and just make it so that the wheel on the inside is turning, or the power set for the wheel on the inside is slightly less than the power set for the wheel on the outside. Okay, so this is one of the things you can do. Finally, let's talk about the remote control. Now, the remote control has 4 buttons on it. We won't be using that big button near the infrared emitter. You just consider the 4 buttons on it. Let's say, for instance, you press the 2 top buttons together. That should make the robot go forward in a straight line. You will press the top left button, it should turn left. You press the top right button, it should turn right. And if you press the two back buttons, it should go straight backwards in a straight line. If you press the button that is on the rear left, bottom left, it should go backwards and turn to the left. If you press the button on the bottom right, it should go backwards and turn to the right. Okay. So to program the remote control, you'll need to use a loop and a switch block inside the loop to check to see which other buttons on the remote control are being pressed and to take the appropriate action. So for this week's challenge, program the truck to go forwards and backwards. Program the truck to program the truck to turn left and right. And finally, program the truck to respond to the different button combinations on the remote control. So I hope you'll have fun with this challenge. Thanks very much for watching. If you have got issues trying to complete this challenge, don't worry. I'll be back next week with a solution. Until then, stay safe and take care.